three things that you would suggest for people who may be struggling a little bit with COVID right now, what would you say to them?
I think number one is, like me, is deciding what you want. Yeah. I think the process that my wife and I did, we actually sat down and said, look, this is a great time to reflect on where we are and what we want. Mm-hmm. So I think being honest with yourself, Dom, about, where people are in their lives right now, financially, in their relationship, with their health, with their fitness. Mm-hmm. I think taking almost like a snapshot of, hey, how's our life going? Because we get caught up, right, in the craziness that is life. Mm. Taking a snapshot and then going, well, what is it that we do want? Well, you know what? We never wanted to do this and this and this. We always wanted this and this. How do we get sidetracked over here, right? Mm. So then it's like, okay, if this is what we want and this is where we are, then how do we bridge that gap now? What actions do we need to take to bridge that gap? I think number one is around that awareness, right? And being very clear about your vision. My personal belief is that everything comes back to vision. Mm. A lot of people don't have a vision past their lunch, right? So having a vision is like, well, what do you want for your life? You're the Picasso, right? You're the Michelangelo of your own canvas. What do you want to paint? Right? So having that vision, because then every single decision comes back to your overall vision. I'm very open to just saying yes if it feels right. Okay. And you may feel at the time that it's not moving you forwards to your vision, but that's the exception to the rule. If something feels right in your gut, then you just say yes, right? But everything comes back to that vision. So outlining that vision is probably my first step. Number two is getting quality people around you. So important. Like, don't get me wrong, those 3 years where I was doing it tough were very tough. Very tough, right? And I'm so blessed that I had amazing friends and a support network around me. Now, here's a little quick tip on that. If you write up a list of 10 people, even start out with 5, right? I started with 5. 5 people I wanted to hang around more, like I wanted to be around, right? And I wrote them down, and then I said, well, okay, well then how do I become friends with these people, right? Because these people inspired me, right? I wanted to be friends with them. And so I just mapped out a little bit of a game plan. It wasn't stalkerish at all, right? But it's like I started following people first on Facebook. So whenever they do a post, there I was popping up saying, oh, that's amazing, sincerely, authentically. That's so great, right? And after a few times I'd done that, I would private message them, say, hey, it's really cool what you're doing. Then, because I'm interested in them, what do you think they do for me? They say, hey, what are you doing, Dale? And then we would get to chatting and having laughs. And lo and behold, I created some amazing support and friends through that process. And I've been doing that process for the last 3 to 4 years. And it's phenomenal, Dom. It's phenomenal, right? It's like you just figure out, I want to be friends with these people. So how do I do this, right? How can I add value to their life? And how do I be around them more? So those are the people that helped pick me up when I was down. Because there was a time in my life where I was just so narrow focused that I couldn't see anything else out here. And one of my friends said to me, a very good friend of mine, he said, look, Dale, no offense, but perhaps your destiny lies outside of Ripple Fitness. And for me, I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, this is the business I'm building. And, so that planted the seed, right? And if it wasn't for that person, I would never be in this place now.
Wow. So
a really great support team around you. And I've just given you a strategy on how to build that.
Beautiful.
Okay. And number 3 would be to train your mind. When I say that, and the reason I pick up my phone is because every time I was in a down, every time I was fearful, every time that I lacked faith in myself or belief in myself, I put something on in my ears, like motivational stuff or something just to pick me up in that moment, just to, because it finds something that inspires you, right? that inspires you. So I would just put, podcasts on of Robert Kiyosaki or Tony Robbins, or a motivational mix about, when you fall down, you got to get back up, and about, Steve Jobs selling out of Apple, getting kicked out, but then coming back, so it's like the most successful people in life are the people that fail the most. But the reason they're successful is because they keep getting back up. And I think in today's society, we give up too easily. We throw in the towel too easily. And if people could just learn to get back up and use music, use videos to inspire them, just to pick them up and to just take that next step, right? Instead of throwing in the towel, then I feel like they're going to get whatever they want to achieve. So they're my 3 things, my friend.
Thank you.